Hello and welcome to TVB News. I'm Melissa Hekalea. DeepSeek, a Chinese AI chatbot, has rattled the artificial intelligence industry and stock market overnight. The app caught global attention after being ranked the top most downloaded free app on Apple's App Store. It triggered a rout in U.S. and European tech stocks, wiping out some $1 trillion worth of their market value. DeepSeek is developed at a fraction of the cost and computing powers of its Western counterparts. U.S. President Donald Trump described the development as a wake-up call for the U.S. industry. Jackie Lin has our top story.
High performance, open source, and low cost. These are the standout qualities of R1 reasoning model and V3 AI chatbot of DeepSeek, the latest Chinese tech disruptor that is said to have shaken up the global AI race. It is based in Hangzhou in eastern China, the city where Alibaba is also headquartered. U.S. President Donald Trump said DeepSeek marks a positive development to the AI scene with its faster and cheaper alternative. But he believes the United States would be able to catch up soon.
The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser-focused on competing to win, because we have the greatest scientists in the world.
Meta's chief AI scientist reportedly told his staff that DeepSeek's latest model may surpass theirs. Meta has scrambled to assemble 4 war rooms of engineers to crack DeepSeek's low-cost AI training model and turbocharge its own AI efforts. DeepSeek is ranked #1 as the most downloaded free app in Apple's App Store. According to DeepSeek researchers, it cost less than $6 million to build its R1 model versus billions of dollars spent by U.S. tech giants. The result? A performance claimed to be comparable to OpenAI's ChatGPT. And DeepSeek said it used lower capability chips for training, showing that the development of artificial intelligence does not require the highest performance chips. Its R1 model used about 2,000 NVIDIA's H800 chips to train, which are not subject to U.S. sanctions. DeepSeek has also sent shockwaves through Wall Street overnight, dealing blows to AI-related stocks. NVIDIA stock fell nearly 17%, wiping out $593 billion from the leading AI chipmaker's market value, a record one-day loss for any company. Jackie Lin, TVB News.
It's Lunar New Year's Eve today. It's also the last night of the city's New Year fairs across town, which will close in the morning of the Lunar New Year's Day. Our reporter Celine Chan is at Victoria Park. So, Celine, what's it like out there?
Thank you, Melissa. It's only less than 5 hours left until we glide into the Year of the Snake, and some residents actually are doing some final preparation as they drop by here at the Victoria Park to get some flowers and also some festive decorations. Well, as we can see, it's actually pretty crowded here, and crowd control measures are currently in place. Some vendors and flower store owners told us, well, they actually started cutting down prices earlier than last year, and they're pinning their hopes on the final hours as people come for a walk after getting dinner, as sales were pretty sluggish in the past few days. Well, that's all the update we have as for now. Back to you at the studio.
Great, thanks, Celine. Lunar New Year flower markets around Hong Kong are open for their last day and will remain so overnight until tomorrow morning. Many residents said they found the prices of flowers reasonable this year. Timothy Lee was at the Victoria Park Flower Market earlier today.
Flower enthusiasts flock to Victoria Park throughout the day in search for the perfect flower pot to celebrate the Year of the Snake. Besides celebratory plants, visitors also received greetings from Financial Secretary Paul Chan this afternoon, who wished all revelers health and happiness in the new year. The FS checked out several stalls featuring products with snake motifs designed by secondary school students. But it wasn't just locals who were attracted to the popular market, as scores of tourists came to embrace the local custom.
It's a tradition that we always come to Victoria Park for the Nianxiao market. And I feel like this year there are more flowers, and all the flowers are so affordable.
I saw on the news that there were really cool things here, like flowers and other local Hong Kong treats, so I'd like to try them a lot.
But I'm surprised by the variety of orchids as well. They're so beautiful and how diverse they can be. I'm from the UK and we don't really get that many different types.
A Hong Konger who spent more than a decade living abroad returned to the Victoria Park market this year to re-embrace his roots.
In the first time in 15 years I'm here, but I was told that my grandparents used to also have a store here because they grow the cherry blossom tree in Shanghai when I was young, so it's quite nice to feel the nostalgicness of coming again.
The Victoria Park Flower Market remains packed with tourists as many visitors were graced with relatively warm weather at the venue. Many tourists said they wanted to feel the authentic spirit of Chinese New Year here, in addition to buying a few pots of festive flowers. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
Chief Executive John Lee visited the Lunar New Year fair this afternoon. He said he hopes Hong Kong will demonstrate its agility and resilience in the Year of the Snake. Jackie Lin reports.
Chief Executive John Lee dropped by the Lunar New Year fair at Tin Hau Temple Plaza in Tuen Mun in the afternoon. His first stop, a flower stall, where he asked a vendor about their sales this year. He bought 10 gladiolus there, which symbolize perfection and goodness. Some flower merchants said that business is not as good as before, but they hope more people will come at nightfall. At another stall, Lee purchased a pinwheel. He hopes the Year of the Snake will usher in more good fortune. Lee also bought a panda-themed decoration. Extending his festive greetings, Lee said the snake symbolizes agility and flexibility, and he hopes Hong Kong will embody such spirit in the new year. In the pre-recorded video along with his wife Janet Lam, the city's leader wishes good health and good fortune to local residents and said he hopes the city will continue to seek innovation and reform with agility and resilience. In neighboring Macau, its chief executive Sam Ho Fai also dropped by the New Year fair and spoke to vendors and students at the market. Jackie Lin, TVB News.
As today is Lunar New Year's Eve, many people are preparing for the family reunion dinner, a Lunar New Year tradition where family members get together to celebrate. Anip reports.
At the Wan Chai market, a stall selling live chickens was bustling with people in the morning. Vendors were busy with no time for a break. This customer said he hoped to enjoy good food tonight after working hard for a long year. This vendor said she was hesitant to raise prices because of the weak business climate and said she hopes to sell more even at thinner profit margins. Still, she said business is better than last year with crabs and prawns already reserved. Reunion dinners emphasize seafood, which represents good luck, and lettuce, a symbol for wealth. This customer said she was buying meat, vegetables, and fruit to prepare for tonight's dinner, but noted that she must be more cautious due to the economic situation. Many people, however, prefer to eat at restaurants for reunion dinners. In Mongkok, one restaurant said dinner reservations were full 2 days in advance and that business had improved by at least 10% compared to last year.
This year, we have more customers than last year, but still not as much as before COVID. Make money. Don't talk about making money. Breaking even is our wish.
Chan credited the increase in customers to the government's multiple entry policy, which allows unlimited visits to Hong Kong for Shenzhen residents. She said more people were coming from the mainland. In regards to popular Lunar New Year dinner choices, Chen said a few dishes stood out.
Popular dishes like oyster, shrimp, lobster, and fish.
While some restaurants may limit dining times during Chinese New Year, Chen said her restaurant will not impose such restrictions, as the holiday is meant for gathering and celebration. And TVB News.
Most MTR lines will operate overnight today, accommodating the many people celebrating Lunar New Year's Eve outside tonight. Except for the Airport Express, Disneyland Resort Line, and East Rail Line, all other MTR lines will run overnight. Seven light rail routes will also provide overnight service. certain buses will increase service frequency and extend service hours, and tram services will continue until 1:30 a.m. Welcome back. U.S. President Donald Trump said Microsoft is in talks to acquire TikTok and that he would like to see a bidding war over the app. TikTok, which has 170 million American users, was briefly taken offline just before a law requiring its Chinese owner ByteDance to either sell it on national security grounds or face a ban, which took effect on January 19th. Trump, after taking office on January 20th, signed an executive order seeking to delay by 75 days the enforcement of the law. Trump said last week that he was in talks with multiple people over buying TikTok and would likely have a decision on the popular app's future in 30 days. The U.S. president has previously said that he was open to Elon Musk buying the social media app if the Tesla CEO wanted to do so. The United Nations held a Holocaust memorial ceremony Monday to mark the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, a World War II concentration camp operated by Nazi Germany. This as a full-scale replica of the secret annex where Anne Frank penned her famous diary during the war, opened in New York City to mark International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Tracy Furness has more.
Israel's President Isaac Herzog made an appeal at the United Nations annual commemoration of the International Day in memory of victims of the Holocaust to call for the remaining hostages held by Hamas in Gaza to be freed. He said there had been a rise in anti-Semitism since Hamas's October 7th incursion into Israel.
This is an urgent wake-up call to all humanity. Anti-Semitism, savagery, cruelty, and racism are still thriving on our planet. They are thriving because far too many states represented here do not confront them, do not unanimously condemn them, do not fight against them.
In London, Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, met with Holocaust survivors to mark the anniversary. The royal couple shook hands and had lengthy conversations with guests. Catherine embraced one survivor, holding hands and listening to her story. Nazi forces killed some 1.1 million people at Auschwitz in southern Poland, which was under German occupation during World War II. Most of the victims were Jews killed in gas chambers, but also Poles, Roma, Soviet prisoners of war, gay people and others were targeted for elimination in the Nazi racial ideology. In New York City, a full-scale replica of the secret annex where Jewish girl Anne Frank hid from the Nazis and penned her famous diary opened Monday to mark International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Frank wrote her day-to-day account of hiding with her family from the Nazis for over 2 years in a house in Amsterdam during Nazi occupation. They were eventually discovered and taken to a concentration camp where she died while only in her teens. While the original annex has been intentionally left empty, the New York reconstruction shows the 5 rooms as they would have looked, including the desk from where Anne wrote her diary. Tracy Furness, TVB News.
300,000 Palestinians are estimated to be traveling to the north of Gaza the day after roads reopened. David Garrett reports.
Still, thousands of refugees walk north. Most have no option but to make the journey on foot, along the 40-kilometre coastline against the backdrop of the Mediterranean. 24 hours after the checkpoints in a central zone were reopened by Israel, after an agreement was reached with Hamas on the next hostage releases, they continue to pour in. The mass migration of people from horizon to horizon. Carrying bags and suitcases, the old and young trudge on as the wind whips in off the sea. They trek north in temperatures of about 15 degrees. US President Donald Trump suggesting over the weekend that some Palestinians could be rehoused in Egypt and Jordan to clean out the strip. Jordan's government rejected the idea, a spokesperson saying, "The solution is to establish a Palestinian state with Jerusalem as its capital. This is Jordan's position and what we continuously emphasise to the US." As the homecoming continues, these Gazans cannot be sure what they're going back to. It is no secret the north of Gaza has been ravaged by the Israel-Hamas war. Ola Salah is preparing to head home. "Israelis bulldozed our house. I don't have a home, but I'm happy to go back," she says. "Yes, I will go back to living in a tent, but I want to go home." Fears too, the fragile ceasefire, now in place for a week, could fold at any moment. The diplomatic wheels turn to try to keep the peace. Israeli President Isaac Herzog with UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres to mark Holocaust Memorial Day.
More than a year has passed since the appalling 7th of October terror attack by Hamas. We welcome at long last the ceasefire and hostage release deal. The deal offers hope as well as much needed relief. And we will do our utmost to ensure it leads to the release of all hostages.
Herzog called on the world to use their influence on Hamas to release the approximately 90 remaining hostages. As the Melodies of Life was played in memory of Jews who died in the 1930s and 40s, the Israeli government says 8 of the Hamas-held hostages, due to be returned in the coming days, are already dead. David Garrett, TVB News.
Back locally, one more Hong Kong man was released from a scam park in Myanmar. The 29-year-old Hong Kong victim returned to Hong Kong around midnight last night. He was accompanied by the Security Bureau's task force and assisted in the investigation at the airport police station. After being illegally detained in Myanmar for about 4 months, the Hong Konger was rescued on Sunday and transferred to Thailand. A former district councillor from Hong Kong who's been liaising with his family said his family had not paid a ransom. That's the news. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful Chinese New Year's Eve. Bye for now.